I would challenge you to read the book. The book is not meant to be like, I read it, now let's ponder. The book, this is everything. I was 10 years into my business, and again, talking about nobody from nowhere, knowing nothing about what I was doing. So basically the bottom, I would say in the negative percentile of what I did, to being ranked in the top 6% in the world at what I do. At this point, like last year, I qualified top 1% in what I do. And everything that to get there is here. And it's nothing that you can't do. This is meant to be more of a workbook, like a template for you to put into action. So each chapter is going to have like a top 3 takeaways. Don't do what I did necessarily, but just take those concepts and roll with it. If you have questions, George has my contact information. I love, hopefully you can tell by now, I love this stuff. So anything I can do to help. And so first thing in the book, though, it's talking about having a life plan. And it talks about don't get caught up, so especially now, I'm 39 now, so I'll talk to people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, like, 50 years I'll be dead or whatever. But that's when I had my aha moment. I was 28 years old when it was he was like the president of Shell Oil for America, and he came to like 20, 30 young professional club, he had like CEO dinners. He's like, you need a 30-year career plan. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But he's like, more importantly, before that, you have to have a 50-year life plan. And I'm like, this guy's psycho, But I started thinking to myself, okay, 28, 50 years, how old will I be? I'll be 78. Now, I hope I'm alive at 78, but that was like one of the first times, like kind of my mortality kind of was setting in. It's like, man, 78, like I don't have forever. I don't know when my last day is going to be, and that's a big reason why I try to do these things. And I have a 6-year-old son, 4-year-old daughter, and even before they were born, like I want to be able to help the next person, even if I'm not here. And that's, there would be no book without this 50-year life plan and all that stuff. So just, you can do that. This helps make things very clear. This helps you cut out the should. You stop shoulding all yourself. So then it gets into like the career plan. 30 years. Something that I have started challenging myself and challenging others since I kind of live in this world. I challenge you to live partially. Makes 2 L's. What I mean by this is, do any of you have a friend, family, someone in your life that died young? Yeah, raise your hand. Anybody? All right. So if you haven't, it's good. It's good. But last fall, I had 3 people. It was kind of all in the same week too. It was wild. But my one buddy passed away, rare lung cancer, and another buddy got diagnosed with an aggressive brain tumor. Another buddy's kids having seizures at 6-month-old. Like it just kind of, it was hitting me very hard at that point. And so this is something where I was talking to my wife, and I was like, that's what I do for a living, is plan, strategy, business. We all have these plans of, okay, when I'm 55, I'm gonna do this, and when I'm 60, I'm gonna do that. So think of like a lot of what people get sucked into is what you should do. I should retire at age 60 and get a condo down in Florida and golf all day long. Yeah, sipping mimosas the whole time. But just kind of, my friend never got here. Did everything perfect. There's all these things him and his wife are going to do. There's all these things his family's going to do. But he never got there. So wherever you're at in life, if you can, what I challenge you is like stop worrying about when can I stop working? Or when can I just shut it all down? and start doing things now that you can, don't wait till you're 60 and maybe you can't go on that trip to Europe because your health isn't good enough. I will tell you, I'm 39 years old. One of my buddies, an athletic trainer, he did like a training on running, and he's asked me how many miles I ran and all that, and he's like, Shocker, man. He's like, you have the body of an 80-year-old. I'm like, yeah, it hurts, So just kind of like, I don't know if I will physically be able to do all the golfing I want to do when I'm in my 50s and 60s and 70s. So I'm gonna golf now. I'm gonna. That's one thing. I signed up for golf. I'm not trying to make this up. I'm like, I would never have paid for golf lessons ever right now. But when I'm in my 50s, when I'm in my 60s, when I'm retired, okay, then I'll do it. But it's like, if I really like golf and I want to get good at it, and what I found is just the past year of golfing, it's therapeutic for me. I'm outside, I'm unplugged. It's something that I can focus on that's not just work and not just the normal stresses of life. So for me, it's an escape. But there I was talking to the golf coach, Jose. Jose's the best golf coach, Golf Tech Beechwood. And he tells me how much it is, and I'm like, nah, no way. But then I go back to all this. If I really want to follow through on what I want out of life, that you're gonna have those moments where you have to you're gonna be stopped. My grandpa always said it's like you can go this way or that way. There's no wrong way. It's just different. Okay, but if I'm being true to myself and not worrying about Erica's my wife, which I mentioned Erica. Erica is not gonna, how do I justify this to Erica, or how do I justify? The guilt sets in because I'm like, well, here I am being the business guy, trying to help people do the right things with their money, and I'm blowing it on golf lessons, right? I didn't want to be the cliche business guy on the golf course. That was something I purposely didn't golf for a long time, but here I am now obsessed with it, talking about it to you uncontrollably. So the example I'm trying to get through, whatever drives you, whatever makes you happy, whatever brings you joy, find a way to make it part of your daily life. Life is way too unpredictable, way too short to basically say, one day I'll be happy. One day I will find joy in the things I do on a daily basis. So that's my rant. Any questions on this? Is it making sense as much as it can? All right. Might have a little session around it. So one of the questions I wanted to ask, and kind of go around the room, is what haven't you learned in school or in the textbook? Now this is corporate responsibility. So goals achieved become responsibilities. Just think of anything you achieve in life, it gets harder because now you have to be more responsible. And being more responsible isn't always fun. So I'll start with you, what's something that I wish I knew this? So fast forward, you're out of school, you're out of this MBA program, what's something you wish you knew? And I'll give you my best answer. If I don't feel like I have a good answer for you, I can find someone who will.
I think I've learned that you're not going to learn how to do your job through school. You're going to learn through doing a job.
All right. I like it. So would you say there's kind of the textbook versus reality?
Yeah.
Same thing with my book. It is words on paper. You have to bring it to life, right? You have to figure it out. Majority of life, majority of business, I talk to my business clients all the time about it, it's the circus. And there's no textbook in the world that can prepare you for all these random things that pop up on a daily basis. So I guess What field or industry are you thinking about going into?
I'm not completely sure, but maybe marketing.
Marketing? Okay. So, what is it about marketing that just would make you want to? So I was up at 3 this morning. I'm up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. each day. I love doing what I do, and I love being alive. It was not always that way. But what about marketing would make you want to wake up at 3, 4 a.m. and get the day going?
I think if I enjoyed where I worked and selling what I believe in and to other people.
Got you. All right, so passion for product. Is that something that would be important? Could any of you see yourself selling something you didn't believe in? What's that? You've done it? Okay. Has anybody else had a sales position or some type of job where you were selling something and you're like, I really don't, I'm not into this. Anybody been there? Okay. That's good. That's good. But what's it like? And that's where marketing firms, whoever, they're going to dangle what in front of you? I'm losing my marker. Everybody has a price, right? But at the same time, so it's like what you're worth financially, but what is your joy worth? You know what I mean? Like this is like cheesy, cliche stuff that you can't really. There is no algorithm for joy and happiness, right? But so passion for the product, and then what else did she say? Mm-hmm. So passion for the product, and I'm sorry, this is kind of all over the place. So passion for the product, and we'll call it work environment. Do they talk about culture in this class? Or I'm assuming in MBA class they talk about culture. It's all like corporate culture, all right? So everybody, we get a mission statement, we get a vision, we get a corporate culture, and then now we're responsible. Now we're ready to sell stuff. Now everybody will like our product and believe in our product because we put it in words. So work environment. Why do people stay? Why do they keep selling things they don't believe in? Why do they stay in toxic work environments? Why?
Responsibility. It's always a tie to money, but you learn to meet that level.
Mm-hmm. Because you got bills, you got responsibility. I don't know about you, unless they're giving away MBAs for free now. This is probably costing you money. So, well, hey, I should take this high-paying job, even though it's miserable. I feel like I'm ripping people off, and I hate my life because, I should be using my degree, and I should pay my student loans because I went to class, right? I went to class, so now I gotta suck it up. So, this is awesome. This is cool. This is not planned. I'm loving it. So, is this anything else you would add to that? All right. So, how about you, brother?
I would just say, so being in corporate where you learn a lot of stuff, and it's all kind of random too. Just knowing what stuff you're actually going to need versus what they want you to learn.
Correct. So, there is, whether it's real estate, finance, you name the industry, that you need to get licensed to offer the product, right? So you pass the test right? Even with the MBA, I passed all the tests. Now I can run a business. Now I can manage 100 people effectively in a great corporate responsible culture. So I'm just having too much fun here. So the tests versus, we'll call it the need to know. When I got a license, I technically, legally can now offer people things that could impact their life in a very positive way, or if I do it wrong, in a very negative way. So there is a lot of what you'll hear is just pass the test and forget everything, and we'll teach you what you need to know. All right, so if you are in a great work environment, surrounded by experts, surrounded by people who love and care for the client, for the customer, what you need to know, is that going to be good or bad? Are you going to be taught the right things in the right work environment? If you're working with people that are passionate about the product and service that they're offering, you think if you can seek out these two things, do you feel that what you need to know will take you good places you want to be? If need to know is a very loaded thing, because what I think you need to know is much different than what Susie down the road thinks you need to know, and Freddie at the other office, so if what you need to know, make money, sell stuff, work forever, right? Is what you need to know, is that potentially going to take you places you want to be? If your need to know is, hey, just here's some tricks to get people to buy. Here's some ways you can scam the system, right? Here's some ways you can be corporately irresponsible. Is this making sense as to be careful who is telling you and teaching you what you need to know? Is it impossible to know that, is there any way to truly know whatever happens next for you, the person that's trying to help you, that's mentoring you, that's your boss or teaching you, is there any way to truly know if they're good or bad or teaching the right stuff? Can you just magic wand, crystal ball it? Yeah, learn. But who's heard the term emotional intelligence? Okay, so I'm not even trying emotional intelligence. All right. It's kind of, they'll say it's your EQ versus your IQ. People with a high IQ, they tend to make more money, they tend to, know more, they can, their brain works in a certain way that it can, I can't remember what I said 5 minutes ago. My wife can remember what she said 30 years ago, in detail. And it drives me nuts because she always remembers the things that I said, that I forgot, and it's all good. People with high IQ, they tend to get places, but they tend to get in more trouble. And they tend to basically they tend to overcomplicate things. They tend to overanalyze things. They try to you cannot outthink the right thing to do. Being a good human requires emotional intelligence, awareness. Knowing that, okay, I have a million things to do right now, but my team member, her dad's in the hospital. I was supposed to make 27 other calls that are important. However, what should I do in that moment? I get that message, say, hey, my dad's in the hospital, I gotta go. And I got all this stuff, and I got 300 emails, got 27 phone calls I gotta make. The deadlines are looming for our quarterly worksheets and spreadsheets and all the shareholders. What is the right thing to do? What makes you a great, responsible leader in that moment? Who do you call? Yeah, someone's parent just went to the hospital. Are they? They're probably fine, right? I'll hit them up later. I'll call them later. Have any of you said I'll call someone later and forgot? Is this a moment you want to miss? If you're trying to create this passion for product, work environment, if you're trying to be the best leader possible and the best example of what an MBA scholar is, do you make that call right away? Is that your first call to that person on your team? Even though you got a million other things to do? Yes? Okay, cool. You guys are rocking. All right, cool. What is something, what's something you don't know right now? What hasn't school taught you that you wish you knew, or is there something that you would want to know?
I think every workplace, every type of job is different.
Mm-hmm.
So you sitting here reading books isn't going to really prepare you for any work. I think what an MBA does, it really tells the boss or that you're capable to come on time, do certain amount of tasks, and that's really what they can expect from you.
Okay.
I think that's really what it is about. So I don't really know exactly what I'll be working with, or the only thing I can do is really prepare the things I can prepare when I do get that job
Mm-hmm.
to really learn as much as possible.
Okay. So, something you kind of hit on is like you can prepare what you can prepare. Folks, it all starts with a plan. You want to know why? So 24 hours from now, after you made the picture perfect plan for your life, for your career, for your business, guess what? What happens in 24 hours? It all blows up. 24 hours later, it all blows up. How much of life can we control? I mean, you can control, you're stuck with me now. Like, why did I take this class? This guy would shut up, right? Right? Just, you didn't have control of this, but you did have control over signing up for the class, right? You did have control, for the most part, getting here. But you couldn't control the traffic. You couldn't control, anything like that. Dave and I couldn't control that Siri sent us to the dorms instead of here, or something like that. So, it's like just a couple of creepers rolling around the dorms looking for George. So, but do we, as humans, do we make the mistake of thinking that we can control more than we do? Because it's not very inspirational for me to come in and be like, you can't control anything, just give up. Let it go. You can't control anything other than yourself. But if you can understand, if you can have the awareness, the emotional intelligence, I cannot control 99.9999% of my life and what happens. What is the benefit of that? What is the benefit of knowing that you don't have control? What's that?
You can focus on things you can control.
Hey, all right. Bonus points, stickers, extra credit. Talking about textbooks and books and Word. There's so much crap. There's so much stuff. And you need focus. All right, cool. Let me get. You need this. Okay, I'm a discipline. Okay. You need to be present. Like, I thought I was supposed to be focused. No, I am present and self-discipline. And you must be perfect as an imperfect human, right? Focus is something that I don't feel gets enough credit. But again, if you can focus on what can I control in this moment, right? You can focus on two things. I'm gonna tune this guy in, I'm gonna tune this guy out. My thing I need to focus on is you, and also stopping my internal drive to just keep rambling and ranting and going, right? I need to like rein myself back in. But what you focus on, magically gets done. And it might not be in the same, you're gonna prepare, because you're gonna have 3 interviews, and then you're gonna have, this call with this boss, and you're gonna have this call with this, and then you're gonna be, all right, I got everything, I'm prepared. And then you're gonna show up, and it's gonna be nothing. They're not gonna ask any questions you prepared for. Like, it's gonna be nothing you thought it was gonna be. But if my focus is like, I know myself, I know who I am, and I know that I can adapt. That's another thing here. This was from a parenting book that I read. You learn a lot about business by reading parenting books, by the way, because it's a friendly reminder we are all little kids. We're just overgrown kids trying to get our way in a much more sophisticated manner, right? I'm trying to sell you more sophisticated because I'm an adult, instead of just saying, hey, I want that cookie. So our minds, our brains, so control versus no control, what we're focusing on, you can adapt, or it goes to aggression. So like our natural instinct, like why do people get road rage, jump out of their car and start shooting people? Why? Why do people do these things how do they get mentally hijacked? Right? They feel they have control when they don't. I control traffic. Don't they know I'm late to class? This Dave guy, who knows, is driving around the dorms everywhere. This Schleicher guy, they're lost at Lake Erie, and they're going 10 miles an hour trying to find it, and then, don't they know I'm late to class? Remember I said, I'm going to tell you 87 times, if you get one thing, you can remember one thing. This is something to remember. So lose the should, and when you feel yourself, when you feel that bubbling up, that tension, that stress, that anger, our natural tendency, our brain is wired to get aggressive, right? We're wired to feel the way we feel, but it's adapt to the situation you cannot control. Just control what you control. All right. Look here, you guys are cyclones? What? Storm. Even better, because that's what I wanted to talk about. Storm. Are you going to be able to be your best self and help everybody around you that you love and care about and are responsible for? Are you going to do it better from inside the storm or outside the storm? Outside looking in. If you do not adapt, you don't focus on what you can control, where are you? We get so caught up on thinking we can control what we can't control because we like to think we're smart, right? Because it's all for the money, and we know what we think we need to know, right? We get trapped in ourselves. We get trapped in the situation, so this is best you can. Try to create, like literally envision space between you and what's going on. All right? So it's going to be personal, it's going to be professional, it's going to be school, it's going to be work, it's going to be everything. Best you can, try to actually, okay, how do I adapt? How am I going to create some space? Here's what's happening. The storm's here. Where do I need to direct the storm? Who can help me take care of this storm? Who can help me put this storm out? Now, if it's a Lake Erie College storm, you can't put that stuff out. It's gonna roll right over you. It's impossible. Can't stop. Cannot be stopped. So we should went to Lake Erie, man. In the storm, man. It's been awesome. So, all right. Cool. Is this helping? Anything to add to this at this point? Good. All right. The one thing I did want to add to the adaptation part is, does anybody meditate? Does anybody have like a regular, like, again, talking about like mindfulness practice or whatever, like, does anybody have something that they do on a regular basis to help them like create that space? Okay, what's kind of your routine?
Basically, just lay down and listen to something relaxing or calming.
Mm-hmm.
Easy as that, yeah.
Okay.
Where I just think about everything.
Yeah. Well, we're always thinking about everything, right? That's the problem. It won't stop. The storm won't stop. So, all right. So, when did you start doing that? Like, how did that come about?
Probably a year ago.
Okay.
It's just something, I think a friend or something recommended it to me, and I just started doing it, and ever since I've just done it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it helps. It's a place where I can just focus on the things that I want to focus on,
Mm-hmm.
and not think about other stupid stuff.
Other stupid stuff. Yeah, that's right. So, all right. I'm gonna come over here, I guess. So, talking about how there's all these different come on, like a college grad, right? Top 1% in the world, right? Yeah. Midfulness. It's all about midfulness. All right. So, mindfulness, whatever you want to talk. This is the game. Can you control your mind? The answer is no. But can you control it to the point where you can control what comes out of you, right? The words that come out, the tone, all that. So like you can't control what you're thinking. And so when you're laying down and you're listening to like, do you have like calming music? Do you got like listen to like some metal? Got some hardcore rap going? Like what?
It's different. It can be rain. It can
Okay.
be some Chinese, what you call mindfulness music.
Mm-hmm. You literally say, Alexa, mindfulness music, right?
Yeah.
So there's no wrong way to use mindfulness, meditation, breathing. That's the problem. A lot of us don't do it. Because again, I feel like the next generation is much more in tune with this. They're cool with, the mindfulness. My mentality was always like, I feel no pain, right? There's no room for pain. There's no room for weakness. There's like Cobra Kai things like there's no room, like there's no fear in this dojo.
Pain does not exist in this dojo.
Pain does not exist in this dojo.
Shut up.
Why did I literally ran myself. I have an 85-year-old body from running, and my physical therapist, when I went and finally saw him for my hip, said, I have no idea how you're running 100 miles a week, basically on one leg. Was it? I was using my mind, right? But it's just, I was using my mind as basically a way to just shut off everything. And that's something where there's going to be certain elements in life where I don't want everything I say to you today, everything I say to anybody, some people will take it how I meant it, some people won't. Well, you can't control that. So just understand how I'm trying to say this is that from my experience, when you are in a leadership role and it's like, because here I am talking about like, don't let yourself be bought, right? But there's been times in my life where it is, I have no room to feel. This is not a situation where I'm allowed to have feelings. And it's not that you need to be shutting off your mind and doing it in a toxic way, in a negative way. But like what he's doing, could I have approached the situation and say, I need to stop, I need to get in my mindfulness place, or just I need to just unplug and think this through. Because there's healthy ways to get through intense situations, and there's very unhealthy. And pretty much every unhealthy method to get through stress and get to the next level. Been there, done that. So, anything good, man?
I'm trying to do something.
Checking your TikTok?
No, I'm posting on the business division site.
Oh.
Shit keeps-
Hello, George. So, again, to try to wrap this up is, I beg you to find something that helps you. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks, right? What works for him may not work for you. What works for me, like everybody is unique. So how much time you need to spend in mindfulness, how much, how you do it, when you do it, just make it part of your life. So think of, I was able to sneak in. Anybody seen the Karate Kid movies at all? Okay, so he's doing the breath. In that scene, it was our quarterly team meeting. It was awesome because I got to sneak in Karate Kid to the meeting. But we started our meeting with, we always start with meditation, deep breathing, but I was able to sneak in the Karate Kid version. But that scene, he's talking about, what is he going back to? It's breathing, breath, life. So I always had the mindset like, well, I'm breathing, like breath. Like when I get stressed, when I get that call and the world's melting, I'll just take a deep breath, right? But and again, a year into this, could you a year ago get through the situations you can get through now the way you can now? Like, is it something similar? So like if I went to the gym and started working out a year ago, I'm going to be stronger physically. You feel that you are now stronger mentally and emotionally, right? So that's another thing I learned. So if you're going to truly adapt and not go straight to aggression mode, because whether you like it or not, it's just going to happen. But now on a regular basis, every morning, having my meditation, I don't get sucked into the storm anymore. You can't expect not to get sucked into the storm if you're not practicing, right? So, are any of you athletes in here? What do you do, buddy? What sport? Soccer. Okay. So, have you spent a lot of time practicing? Yeah. Okay, so if I go watch you play a game, and you, what position you play? Center. So, excuse my ignorance, but I'm assuming you can score a goal from like, is it strikers score the goal or? Yeah. Regularly. But I mean, dude, you could boot it from midfield, and I got faith. You look like you can kick. So the way you eat that pizza makes you think you're strong. So, but if I just told you, if you hadn't had all those years of practice and every single day for a long time, hey, go do what you do now, could you? So I couldn't just be like, hey man, I can eat pizza too. I can kick the ball too, right? Just put me in there. I got it. Could I do what you do? Why? Yeah. You can't undo the practice and the muscle memory and the repetition. And that's another thing with my business. I'll have people get new into the industry and they'll say, well, hey, I want to be like you. I want to do this, and they're like, well, if you had to do it over again, what would you do? They're like, I would go for burgers and I would just I would not get back into business. I never want to go through the pain and through the sacrifice and everything that I had to go through to get here now, right? If I say, hey, you got to start all over and you know nothing about soccer, you might maybe I'll do something else, right? If you just had to start over and have to figure, all those moments when you met, because we're all human, we all mess up, but it's like, I'm sure you have moments where it's like, that one game, right? I just wish I knew that I would have done this and would have done that. We all have that in our lives, okay? But, just whatever, we're talking about all this stuff, get practicing on it now, and just a little bit at a time. If you can sneak in, I'm doing a Navy SEAL leadership training thing for 2 days. I'm going to go through this Navy SEAL program, and I'm getting my butt kicked. But we got to do these mobility things. You got to do these core things. So I'm trying to find time. So what I ended up doing after a few weeks of trial and error is okay, well, when I'm lifting in the morning, instead of resting between lifts, which technically you're supposed to do, I'll do the core work, I'll do the mobility, sneaking things into my already regular routine. So that would be something, an example of if you're trying to insert something new, create a new habit, new routine, do you just try to do it out of nowhere, or can you identify hey, I always do this at this time. I could probably sneak this new habit, new routine in there. Could you do that? And then next thing you know, you're getting more done in a day than you used to get done in a week, in a month, in a year. All right? So I'm ranting, I'm raving. It's all good. So back to you. So what industry are you going to go into, buddy?
I think accounting.
Accounting? All right. So,
Because I don't really know what I want to do with my life. I don't know how to
Mhm.
do anything.
okay.
Like not in 50 years, I don't even know what I'm going to do in 6 months. So I feel like I'm still kind of stuck in the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now I'm just trying to have my GPA up there, get a work experience through internships, and get my resume look pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Making so many things, so just doing this shit that I want, and then not know what I want.
You're building all this up, right? GPA? How many potential employers do you think ask me about my GPA?
Right now, 0.
Well, I'm saying when I was interviewing and all that. How,
I mean,
did they ever bring up well, I see you have a 3.75. That's very impressive. Or do so who are you doing? My challenge is do not raise your GPA for a potential employer. Who should you raise it for? You. Because you're proving to yourself, throw me into any storm that exists, throw me any work environment, I will find a way. Right? Throw me in accounting, I'll make it happen. And maybe she's recruiting you, she's like, hey, I started this marketing firm, why don't you come over? All right, I'll do your accounting for your marketing firm. That'll be fun. So what is it about accounting that would make you want to so the passion you have for soccer, what about accounting could have that same passion and drive?
I just like the satisfaction with it.
Mhm.
It's complex kind of thing, just wrap
Okay.
your mind around it. You don't really know where to go and you don't know what's right, but at the end of it, right, the satisfaction I get from when you're done with the work.
Mm-hmm. Marketing, accounting. What do you plan to go into? What are you? What's your plan?
I would like to run a music school.
Music school. All right. So we got marketing. We got accounting. Music school. And I probably didn't ask you, brother, what's,
I don't know, maybe start my own business.
okay? Start business. Let me make sure I'm not trying to bring the fun there for you guys. I see some people fall asleep. All right, so start our own business. Is there a particular thing, like if you could have a business that does,
I kind of like drones and like
okay,
applications for those.
drones? Okay. Talk to Dave, he's doing some drone video work. So we're starting a video series called the Dad Poet Society. Jordan, I need you, we got to interview, by the way. We got to get you in the Dad Poet Society lineup. So first video is going to be Father's Day, but until then we're building up our dad a base. It's all right. That's all I really wanted to say. I have to say all the other stuff to get to that point. So, all right, so the drones, all right, sorry, I'm just ruining this already. What about you, brother?
Start my own business.
Okay. And you're just going to just be like, I'm going to do business in this. Or what?
I really don't care. My dad started his own business with ACs. He had no idea what they were.
Yep.
Now he's surrounded by them and knows everything about them. So I'm kind of like on the same path. I need to find something, but I don't really care or know what it is.
So does he still have the business? Is it something you could, is the plan, do you want to take over the business or?
I'm not planning on doing it.
Okay.
You never know at the same time. It's not something I'm planning for. I don't rely on that.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Family businesses are interesting. It's very interesting. So it's first generation family business.
So it's actually started off with my grandpa, his dad.
Okay.
They started together, so I'll be third
Okay.
generation.
Yeah. So talking about the ultimate challenge of life. First generation business is usually like, it's like building the business, going through hell and blah, blah, blah. And then the second generation is like, all right, well, the world's changed. We should now, and so like the second generation is using it, and this is very overarching general stuff here, but if you look at the numbers, usually second generation is going to optimize it some way. And then third generation comes in, they're so far removed from the hard work, they take the optimization for granted, and usually ruin it. So what would be cool though, is you could be like, I'm going to be one of the very few third generations that actually continues to have that same, love and passion and appreciation for the hard work that the family business takes. And I'm going to continue to optimize. I'm not going to get comfortable, and just this is how we do things, right? So, cool, man. You better.
I want to do like a soccer / like body health clinic.
Okay. Body health, and what was the healthcare?
Clinic, yeah. So
Clinic?
it's like
Okay.
soccer coaching and like basically like functional movement.
Gotcha. Okay. What about you?
Oh, I'm just retiring. Like, I'm
Okay.
too old, that's what I want to do.
Okay.
I don't want to do anything but retire.
Okay.
I work in higher ed, so just continue trucking.
Okay. So let's pretend. Everybody in the time machine? Good? Dave, we in the time machine? Good? All right. Today's your first day of retirement. What are you doing? What aren't you doing?
The same thing I kind of already live here. I live partially retired. I chased the money at first. I made more money in my 20s than I will ever later. I hated, it wasn't the culture or the product or any of that. It was, I didn't know me, so I was an attorney. And I didn't know me, so I didn't fit the bill. And it was a great culture, and it was a lot of money, and it was, all of those things were good. I just wasn't happy. But I grew up very poor, and I wasn't afraid to poor again, because I was good at being poor. So I left the law and I went into higher ed, and everyone knows there's no money in education. So, it's not the money anymore, but then I had kids, and my kids are little, and I really like being a mom. So I live kind of partially retired because my number one is being a mom. I love that. I didn't realize how much I would love that.
Okay. How old are your kids now?
I have 2 8-year-olds and a 7-year-old.
Dang. All right.
But then money does come into play because I don't want them to have to struggle. So I'd like the money back that I made before, but I don't want, but I want the time to be with them. So I just want to retire.
Yeah. No, this is cool.
Yeah.
Do you hear what she just said? Roller coaster of life, right? Chase. I didn't know me. I hope after today that all of you, like, you're saying, I didn't know me, but now I got it all figured out.
No.
But I don't know, I just think I might do that. I didn't know how to like being a mom and blah, 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 right? Like, so like, I'm not poking fun. Life is just this endless puzzle. It's just this endless barrage of like, I didn't know I was gonna feel this way. I didn't know, like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know until you get there, right? And yeah, being a parent, like that, I always wanted to do it, but I didn't realize how much it was just gonna be my favorite thing in life. You know, and we need, why I'm doing this Dad Poet Society thing. And actually, one of my friends, she owns White Rabbit Kids in downtown Willoughby. So, toy store in downtown Willoughby. They have like toys that don't break instantly, and you know, just really good stuff. But known her a long time. But we did our Supermom edition. You know, and that's something where you have a superpower. No one could truly understand or embrace, like it's just, you can go to a whole nother level that I'm sure you probably didn't think you could, right? You didn't think you could love more, you didn't think you could like sleep less.
and sleep less willingly, right?
Right.
Not to work harder, but to mom harder.
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
Correct.
What would get me up at 4 o'clock in the morning is if my kid has hockey.
Yep.
I'm up.
Yep.
I'm getting his bed.
Yep.
Like, will Lake Erie get me up at 4 o'clock in the morning? Maybe, if George called, maybe. If my kid has hockey, I'm there.
You can read my writing. So we're going through all this. What would you get up at 4 in the morning for? Right? So that's cool. Very cool. So happy early Mother's Day. It's going to be sweet. But do you see, too, how these two things, our life plan, my career for the first 5-6 years made it so I had 0 life. I had clients all the time. But James, don't you have a life? You're looking at it. Here with you, Friday night. All weekend working, right? So this is the most important thing, and it will always change. So your career, your business, every choice you make, as best you can, you want it to be a direct reflection of the things in your life that will get you out of bed, especially when you don't want to. Especially. So, awesome, very good. What about you, my man?
Probably just like soccer coaching.
Okay.
Whether it's a college, academy, or continuous as our own business.
Okay. George, I think we might have a dream team business.
Heck yeah.
Music school soccer coaching, clinics. Are the parents of your soccer clinics and your music school going to need a super mom that maybe she decides, hey, I'm going to start an in-home daycare? That's my mom. My cousin actually started an in-home daycare because she was working in daycare and said, I could do this better myself. Had a few kids that would just come in our house. That kept getting referred, grew into Heisley. It's in Concord, Painesville, so it's Heisley Point, and then getting bigger. Now it's Ridge Point Child Care. And then my mom, I'm the oldest of 4 boys. My mom just wasn't exhausted enough, so she had to, she ended up scraping and clawing to buy that business. So my mom actually, she runs the child care. But my wife and I, she's an HR manager at Avery Dennison, and I'm leading my team, blah, blah, blah. Like, the most important thing is, where are our kids going to be? Who's got the kids? Are they okay? And then, are they going to a coach? Are they going to a clinic where I trust you? Do I trust you with the most important thing in my life? Do I trust you with the only thing that I would kill for? Right? Also, you guys might want to refer back and forth. So maybe you got the music part and you got the soccer part, and you guys can network, can mastermind. How can we, some of these kids are taking music classes or music school, so like not trying to but there's already a network built in. And are you going to need a great accountant so the IRS doesn't come and ruin your life? Just because you've missed a box. You going to need a great accountant? Somebody who's passionate, somebody who understands soccer, who understands the MBA corporate responsibility process. So you got your accountant, and then all these things, they're a business. Everything's a business. So you have 2 business-minded people getting drone footage for your soccer clinic. Would that be something that would be good? Is there somebody who might be in marketing who could take that drone footage and get it out and promote it in the right way that brings in the families? So it's whatever. You can get more into the details of. I know I wasn't trying to turn down my family hashtag families. You all pretty much have the same target, right? They call it target market. But you have to understand, if you try to do the music school by yourself, how you will do it. You're going to get it done. All right? If anybody tells you you should do something else, and you're not comfortable saying, screw you, leave me alone, just have them call me and I will, just find somebody to help reinforce that you are going to have that. But if you get there and you don't like it, is that okay? If you're like, this whole music school, I thought it's what I wanted, but actually not. Is that okay? If you decide it's not for you, is that okay?
No, I think it's for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you get there and you change your mind, is that okay? Are we allowed to change our minds?
I don't know. I think I'm not going to change my mind. It's my plan. I'm focused on it and I'm doing things to get it.
All right. You see it?
I should change my mind.
All I'm saying is, are you allowed to change your mind? And she's like, I'm not going to change my mind. I'm doing this, right? Sign me up. Sign my kids up, all right? You already have that passion, and you see how you could feel that? Is she selling a product that she's passionate about? Am I going to go to her music school, or doesn't matter what the resume, this person went to this music school and blah, 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 advanced. I play okay rhythm guitar, and I can't read music. I just play by ear. So I can't say the actual music stuff, but just understand that there's people that have what you're supposed to, what you should have, that have zero passion for actually helping another person grow into what they are. I'm assuming you have some background in music, and I'm assuming you enjoy seeing other people start to experience what you love. And I'm assuming you guys with your soccer clinics, soccer coaching, what does a coach do? Gets on the field and wins the game? Just stands on the sidelines, yells, and gets stressed. Like, no. The music part, soccer part, and the mom part is a little easier, right? Because obviously, you don't have to be in it to understand it, and you don't have to necessarily be in it to understand, like, wow, it makes sense that they're passionate about it. But the accounting, right? I got buddies in accounting, man, it's like they eat, sleep, breathe it. They love it. Okay, and I have other buddies that they want to gouge their eyes out. But why do they keep going back to work? They hate it. They hate accounting. But it's good money. Right? It's what they were supposed to do. It's what they should do. So whatever business you end up starting, whatever business path you take, like that, what you just saw there, don't try and change my mind, right? Find something and stick with that. And same with the market. If you're going to market something that, shouldn't say that even when you're wrong, you'll keep arguing, so don't do that, but just think of my best friends disappeared when I started my business. I call, hey man, I want to talk to you about this, and like, click, it was when people used to pick up the phones too, but my friends stopped answering my calls. I had family members that stopped answering my calls, right? It was very humiliating. It was very, very tough, okay? Are you gonna have family and friends that go missing on you? Hey, I'm starting this music school. Remember you said it was a good idea? Like, okay, can you help me spread the word? Right? And they're gonna be like, oh yeah, let me just do that right now. Your soccer clinic, you recruit, you need to recruit? You need to recruit? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll get right on that real quick. People will disappear. But, and this is something where George is an amazing networker, and every time I ask for help, even when he has to go to the bathroom, he's there, right? He's got no time to help. Are you kidding me? He makes me feel like I do nothing. So find those alliances, find those people too in your life. When you meet that person, they don't have to be in the same industry, but they are wired the same way as you. When they want to help you more than they want to even help themselves. My wife makes fun of me. She's like, all you do all day is run around and try to sell your friends' businesses. I'm like, yeah, I love it. I have more fun trying to promote my friends' businesses, my clients' businesses, try and figure out ways for them to succeed. Okay? So whatever that is for you, how do you help someone succeed in a corporate, responsible way? But all of this, all of anything you do, wherever you go next, what are you solving? Any product, any service that exists solves what? I want to play music but don't know how. I have I think you said problem. I want to play soccer. I don't know if I'm good enough. I want to play soccer in college, but I think I need to get better. I need a clinic I can go to. I need a coach I can trust. Right? I need a super mom that maybe can watch my kid. I also have, I have a 6 and 4-year-old, but just think of if you have maybe your kid's friends.
Oh, I love mom other people.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't necessarily love other people.
Yeah.
I love mine.
This is being recorded, so no. But no, just again, wherever it takes you. But that's cool. Solve people's problems. All the mumbo jumbo, all the books, every thing I get, like Audible, it's like the audio book for Amazon thing. Got like all like their badges and stuff like that. So like I obsessively listen to a good book you might want to check out. It's called it's the Ride of a Lifetime, but it's the former CEO, now CEO again of Disney. Like his story, like you can learn a lot from other people's. That's my goal today. Here's all mistakes. Here's all the things I screwed up. Hopefully you don't. But every book I've read, every class I've been in, every book you've read, every class you've been in, every successful person, they all did it in different ways. Focus, discipline, meditation, right? But what did they, in the end, if you want to succeed in business and life, what is the number one thing, the only thing you need to do? Might be pointing to it. Solve people's what? Okay. So, all right. Well, I have ranted on. I could rant on forever. Is there anything else that we've talked about, or is there anything else that I didn't answer or cover that I should have? Yes.
I just add, because I don't really know what I want to do in the future, is like a way to like easier find out, because I'm not looking around like since I was pretty much like 4 years already, and I still really haven't figured out, so like wait, like what is like experience around like getting like different kinds of internships, like different kinds of fields, and just waiting for it until it like just pops up and happens, or is it like a way to go out there?
Magic wand, no restrictions. Like I want you to just forget everything, right? What if you could just pick a problem in the world to solve? What would it be? There's lots of problems, endless problems, right? There's too many problems. Okay. Is there, so for example, is there a problem, maybe a problem that you wish could go, like, the kind of cliche example would be like Apple, right? Apple solved the problem. I don't want to buy the whole album. I just want that one song that I like, because the rest of the album is awful. Why do I have to buy the whole thing to get the one thing, right? So look, well, we're going to solve that problem, right? So look for things in your own life, right? What are things that, man, this could be done better. This problem could be solved better. And just start exploring that. You know what I mean? And you have an accounting degree? Is that your bachelor's in accounting? Okay. No. There's also saying like there's two things that are sort of like death and taxes. So understand that you having that accounting background, regardless of if you just go, if you are, I am a CPA or I am an account, right? Like, is that accounting background going to help you in whatever you do? Yeah. Whether you like taxes or not. Whether you like accounting or not, if you plan to not be in jail for tax fraud or avoidance, accounting is going to be a big part of your life. So that might be a place to start. What part of accounting, right? So do some internships, or are you working somewhere now?
Yeah,
Taxes. Okay. So like, but think of like where you work now. Just start making a list. Okay, I walk in. Don't just go straight to the employer like, listen, I got this list of things that you need to change. No, like just don't, I wouldn't start there, but just start thinking about like, okay, there's these 11 things that at least for you, these 11 things, 11 problems got solved and were easier when we're streamlined, then like my day would be pretty much perfect. So do you think then maybe you start asking other people at the firm, like, hey, if we could get better at these things, you think that would you feel like you have a more seamless day? Like, would you have a better experience at work? Do you think the clients would have a better experience, right? So you can start solving problems where you're at. And a lot of times, I was 5 years into my career, and I was miserable. Because I was chasing, I got promoted, I got moved out of grandma's basement, I'm making the money I want, right? I was just doing what I should do, just doing what I think, I don't feel right, I don't feel good about it, but I'm still, hey, this is what I'm supposed to do, this is what they're telling me I should do. I stopped wearing my seatbelt. I started, like, who would miss me? My family missed me, but like, if I was gone, who cares? So I hope you're never at that point in life, but I've been there. So nothing changed other than when I met that guy and he's like, you need a life plan. And I thought, well, maybe I need to change careers. Maybe I need to change firms. I need to honor me. I need to solve problems. I have the same product and services I always did, but I started solving problems how James Schleicher would. I always said I was like the industry drone. So like accountants have like a reputation of like, good luck talking to them, right? Good luck having a conversation. What if you were an accountant where people could refer you and say, what's your name? What was that? Fabian? Am I saying that right? Fabian. Fabian, that's an awesome name. Very cool. So Fabian, first off, you got to go see Fabian for accounting because it's the best name ever. He's the coolest. But he not only will do your taxes, but he's also like talking to a human. He's someone that will help you and care about you. Do you think that all of a sudden, all my friends and family, the people I know are going to start going to you, and they're going to start sending more people to you, right? And you didn't change careers, you didn't change industries. All you did was say, I'm going to be a human every day. I'm not going to be this drone of my industry. So, no pun intended there. But like, just be you, man. It sounds so cheesy and garbage, and I hope that one day, all of you you'll wake up one day like, man, that crazy guy that George brought in, like, he was right. Like, this is cool following my vision and what I want in my own way. So again, be responsible. Don't break the rules. But if you can be more creative and more outside the box, do it. And you will not regret it. So, great question. Is that helpful at all?
Yeah.
All right. Be human. Who would have thought? Any other questions? Oh, man. Dave, any questions, buddy? I feel like today was a little extra ranty.
No.
Extra ranty. So, ranty. So, yeah, usually I come in, I'll have like the whole of the agenda for the most part, but, all right. Can you guys get your phones and write something down? It is 11:57. I promised you'd be done early, so this is, I want to use this chalkboard. Can I?
Whatever you want.
All right, cool. It's hard to write with chalk. Who are you? Answer that question, right? Not for anybody else but yourself, right? Who are you? So, who, what? And this is coming from, there's a good podcast called If Disney Ran Your Life. So, very good stuff. Very good stuff. It was very refreshing because I felt like, okay, it's not just me ranting on about this stuff. There's like this huge successful guy out there that, took over the world with Disney. But this is the question that they started the first podcast with, and this is the one they ended it with. Who are you? What do you do? Who are you? What do you do? Why does it matter? Now, you will be able to communicate why your soccer clinic's the best on the planet. You're going to be able to communicate why your marketing firm's the best on the planet. You're going to be able to communicate that, hey, you know what, I'm going to take over this third generation family business, and it's going to be better than anyone in my family could ever dream. And I don't know anything about drones because I can barely turn my computer, but it's like, dude, you're going to change the whole industry of drones, how they're used, why they're used, right? If you can answer that about you, you're going to change everything for everyone around you forever, for the better. Because you're going to have the things you need to be happy, full of joy, and make lots of money. Doing the right thing because it's the right thing and enjoying your life can be very financially beneficial. You can make a lot of money doing what you love, okay? And don't let anybody stop you. Shutting up. You guys are the best. Let's go Storm. All right, cool.